Welcome back to another episode of the Jovial Pursuit Podcast. I am your host, Jovi. I don't know why I'm talking soft like NPR.
Yeah, no, that was like a real gentle, hey everyone, welcome to another episode.
You know what's
Like,
crazy?
ooh.
Oh, hold on. My co-host Brandon. Before I go anywhere, you know what's crazy? I used to listen to NPR growing up, like on
Okay.
on the radio that looked like it had like wood. You know the one in a little
Yep.
tune
Oh yeah.
dial.
Yep.
Mine had the string antenna. So
Oh.
I had to put a thumbtack to the wall
Yep.
so that stays close to the window.
Yep.
And then I would listen to NPR because my bedtime at the time was 8:30-ish. And
Oh.
then so I would listen to classical music for a half hour, and then the jazz tunes came on.
And that's
And your boy
always
said
how that was always how it was. You could just imagine like and it like pitch knocks down like everything.
we are at around 8:10 in the morning. And
Oh.
skies are currently bright, nice and open. How's everyone doing today?
Right. It always made me wonder, like, I wanted them to like try and actually talk that way in real life to someone, just like walk up real
So,
close and be like,
bro,
hey,
that's a pimp.
I mean,
That's the only person who's coming out and talking. Hey, baby,
yeah.
go ahead and make that money for you, man. I actually
Oh
don't even
man.
know where my sound's at, bro. Here's what's crazy. My sound check is kind of all over the place this morning. My video check actually went well now that the computer's all back to normal. But after that one time, now I'm just fucking I'm nervous that all the time my sound's just gonna be bad.
Just that one time messed with you.
It did. You know how one instance can change your life, like skydiving.
Oh, bringing it full circle back to skydiving.
Bro, I saw you got snow this week.
Yep.
The fuck
Yep.
the what was it? The day after my birthday?
Mm-hmm.
It was the
Just
top of the week, just snow.
yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
and it's like it's not like not leaving. It's like it's not it's like here, and it's kind of one of those things where you're just kind of like, yep, this is gonna be how it is, isn't it? We're just like it used to be like you could like kind of get through like November around these parts, and you'd be like, all right, now I'm ready for snow. The last couple of years, it's been like, hey, how you guys good with Halloween snow? Like, are you cool with that?
we
And you're like, yeah,
yeah,
here we
no,
go.
that's right. Because we did have a little sprinkle last year around that time. That's true. For those who don't know, I used to live in Minnesota. Thankfully, I've gotten out of that godforsaken land because absolutely not. They don't have good clothes there. I had to shop online for damn near everything. Like it
Yeah,
was
I'll
either
give you that.
flannel or washed out jeans or
Yep. I was
it's so
sitting.
bland. Camo. That was the other thing that
Yep.
came to my
Yeah.
mind, and I made the nasty face for it because I'm like, camo.
Yeah. Dude, I have you ever like I don't know if you ever wonder this, but I wonder this sort of stuff
Okay.
when oh no. Dude, I turned
It's
that
in a
off.
video now.
No, I turned that off.
What am I gonna say? Bye
I just wait, does it do it again? Okay. All
bye.
right.
It takes a moment to queue up, so it's like
Okay.
as if you gotta flash it and be like out of there.
Just like super quick. But I wasn't even doing a thumbs up. I was talking with my hands. All right, I'm gonna turn those off right now. No one needs that. No. But
No,
the
well, we
fashion
don't have a soundtrack right now, so it might be nice to just like do random fucking fireworks.
just wait, what else do I have as options here? Let's see. Let me see. Oh, all right. Yep. Okay.
Confetti.
Nah. All right.
The thing is, I
It's
don't have a Mac, so it's only gonna be on your side.
ooh. Oh,
I can't find it.
bam. Oh, okay.
Okay, Michael
That's
Jackson ass.
just, all right, dude. But like fashion choices all around the US, you know what was like it's fascinating because like fashion choices, how you really know fashion culture, at least my take on it, like how I
Okay,
think you know fashion culture
fair enough.
is like when you show up at like a church service, like so like when you go into a church service in central Minnesota, it's like okay, like camo and like hats and like you know Trump 2024 like you know memorabilia like that flies here. But like I went to a church service one time down in Atlanta, Georgia,
Oh God,
and
they
it was
get
like
out.
dude, no, like it was a weird dynamic because it was like there were people in full on suits and then people in Falcons jerseys, and both were totally like cool. Like, yep, like we either like Sunday best or like I got I'm
Yo, I'm here for my team. I'm praising
like
God for my team.
right. It's just interesting. Like
Well,
what flies.
I will say in Southern culture, especially in the Black community, it was like, especially once freedoms came and getting a little past Jim Crow laws, like that people were like, no, we go out looking nice all the time. People are not gonna call us scrubby and dusty and all that good
Yeah.
stuff. Like they're why the fuck my camera
What? I mean,
my camera
it was like doing some different like pictures and colors sort of thing.
right,
So
yeah. All right, so that's
like
tripping. So what was I saying?
it
I was
was
saying, okay, so Black people had to put on their Sunday's best all the time, and that's why it's one of
yeah.
those things. Like when Black people leave the house, some of us anyway, where we're like, yo, I gotta go out and I gotta look nice because I gotta be presentable, and that's the main term that's
Hmm.
thrown out is I gotta be presentable, and it's like, yo,
Yep.
you're just going to the grocery store. To you. Uh, but then
Yep.
again, in Midwestern culture, is a lot more Eurocentric, so they don't they aren't really differentiating like that.
Yeah.
They're not really judging that because then if someone from out of town comes to a service and they're dressed to the nines, everyone in the service is looking at them weird, like, yo,
Hmm.
it's a bit much, don't you think?
Yep.
God says, come as you are. And I'm like, but society told me be presentable. So,
Right. But even like denominations, like
mm,
wildly different on what's like okay and what's not,
yeah, that's
and
true too.
what's
That's true
and
too.
it's I always want to try and find like you know this sounds so terrible, but you remember in COVID, like just the smallest thing was like it was like a statement of your belief system, and that was how you wore your mask. Like
Yeah.
so if
Oh,
it covered your nose,
yeah.
you
I
like
just,
you're a Democrat. I get you. Like all
yo,
right.
all
And
the
then if you're like
way.
under the nose, you're like you're a rule following Republican. I like and then if you were like not wearing it at all, you're like, you were at the Capitol, weren't you?
Yeah.
like that's like,
It jumps
like
straight
that's where
to
you, it's
January
just
6th.
like I know where you were January 6th. I know exactly where you were.
There were a
like,
handful from Minnesota that were there. It wasn't a whole
mhm.
lot, but there was a handful. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a bunch of people that enjoyed the sentiment. I will say, dude, I watched that like a hawk that day. I didn't know what was going on. Twitter blew up out of nowhere on my phone, and it never
Yep.
does that. And it was like, yo, people storming the Capitol. I said, what?
Yep. Yep.
Fucking took off. So I
That was,
watched 9 hours of the news that day.
yeah. That was that was probably one of those moments like what are you drinking? You have like red wine at 8 in the morning?
It's
like,
first of all, it's got strings. It's got string. It's tea.
okay. Dude, three
it's
three of
it's
them though. Whew.
I like mine concentrated. I do. This
Ah,
is if I only
sure.
had like one
Sure.
bag in this, it would be like a light bluey purple.
Yep.
It's the butterfly PT.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll
it's
have to check it out.
it's a floral tea, and
Okay.
when you're steeping it, the water turns the color of the flower, which is blue.
Sweet.
So it looks dope. But I like mine concentrated like I like my coffee.
Yeah.
But I could take it. I can tolerate this a lot more than the coffee because my heart has been throwing problems at me recently.
Oh, my heart's been throwing error codes. Just like
Oh, bro, I couldn't do shit yesterday.
Oh,
I turned left or right, and my eyes would fucking blur, and my whole ear, my right ear would go deaf. It was
whoa.
Yeah, dude. My
Dang.
occipital neuralgia yesterday was fucking kicking my ass
Yeah.
because I was trying to clean up some because it was my birthday weekend, so I didn't do shit. Obviously,
Right.
I don't clean them. Not for the birthday. No, no. But I was trying to catch up with some of my tasks,
Right.
and I got downstairs and I went to go turn left, and my body just fucking teetered, bro. I'm like, yo, my head just got heavy. I'm just like, I'm trying to move, like turn and move forward, and my body's like, nah, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna do
Oh
it this
man.
way.
Ugh,
It was,
that's
it
brutal.
was, it was not good.
That's
Yesterday was
brutal.
had to cancel an appointment and all that shit. It was,
Oof. All right.
but how you week been? Oh, we just kind of like jump
Yeah.
straight.
My week's been just mostly recovering from whatever that amazing head cold was.
Mm.
Um, that was a really neat experience. Um, Tested negative for, COVID and all that fun stuff. So don't know
So
what it was.
just
Just kind of like,
regular old sick.
yeah,
It's weird that we got to differentiate.
yeah,
That's weird
yep,
because I'm like, at this point, jobs treat COVID as the common cold, and they
oh
like,
yeah,
yo, get your day off and then bring your ass back on in here.
right, yeah. Before I was like, I don't want to see you for a couple weeks. Don't you even
Right.
think about coming
And
in?
they're like, yo, we short staffed. You better drink fluids. I'll stop
Yep,
over with soup. Like, check on you.
yep. Like you
Boss
good?
is extra for no reason.
Yeah. So I've been mostly coming, trying to recover from that. That's about it.
There.
So it's been pretty chill.
Um, I had the best time of my life on Sunday.
Oh,
As far as like
yeah.
birthdays go, best birthday ever.
Okay. All right.
I
What
got oh, go ahead.
like why? Like
Oh,
what makes
okay.
this one the best?
Okay, so I don't do Halloween, but I went to a Halloween game night because I like just party games. And
Hmm.
I was able to hang out with some of my favorite internet personalities and comedians. So
Sweet.
I literally kicked it with Tony Baker. And I got to hang out with
Man.
Tony Baker. This motherfucker hand big as a motherfucker. And I got large ass hands. Like no one in my life has larger hands than me outside of someone in my family. It's a younger brother, Ian. Fuck you.
All right.
Uh, it was the one
Just
thing I had. It was the one thing I had.
yeah.
Because everyone else in my family is taller than me. So I ended up being the shortest. So I had the largest hand. So I was like, all right, at least I got some. And then this motherfucker
Just
just tipped over. I'm like, oh, you a cold piece.
yep.
So he's dope, real chill. I got to hang out with To Hear More and Patrick Cloud because it's from their podcast, Damn Internet, You Scary. So like that was fun. I'm bro, I'm sitting here with a bunch of strangers, right? I ain't never met
Yeah.
any of the like group in person before. It's just like people I've chatted with online and shit from time to time. And then we're randomly, Jill and I are randomly like hanging out with this couple for most of the night, playing like Hungry Hungry Hippo and Connect Four and Large Jenga, all that good stuff. It was a great time. And
Sweet.
then the drinks, they started limbering me up. And then there was this Twister game
No.
that was going on.
No, never Twister.
So
No
I
wonder your
started
balance
stretching.
is off. You're like,
No, bro, I was stretching. I was all over the place. I got second on a technicality, and I was pissed because of my honesty. I could have told old girl in the back, hush. But she's like, yo, his foot ain't even on none. I'm like, huh? I looked up. I was like, because she was about to, the person I was up against, she was about to topple. And because she
oh,
said something last second, and I'm like, oh, I'm a good person, bullshit, I gave her the win. And
no.
then they said there was gonna be a rematch. No rematch. I was mad. I was mad.
Oh,
I said, I
no.
got
Okay.
y'all in the second one. And they said,
No.
no. But it
No.
was just it was a good environment.
Sweet. That actually sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Dude, I'm half-assing. I'm not a great vlogger, so I only got pictures with the people that I wanted, and that was it. It was dude, I I was glowing by the end of that night. I had
Yeah.
never felt such jubilation on my birthday like that,
Sweet.
to the point where I used the word jubilation. Who the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, it fits, but I'm like, that's a random ass word to throw out. No one uses jubilee anymore, like,
I
or
don't.
jubilant, or any of its variants.
Yeah, no, I don't. I can't remember the last time I heard it.
I don't
Like,
know why I said
no.
it. This party made me feel that way.
Felt- There's no other word that makes me that's more accurate for what I felt. So I'm just
Oh,
gonna go for that.
I'm so mad that my camera's messing up. But you know what? I'm not even gonna stop it. It's just gonna do what it is.
Yep.
So I'm going camping this weekend. So I really gotta recover today because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be gone all weekend, and I gotta be chopping wood and all that good stuff. I it's weird. I love chopping wood. I really do.
Yep.
It's like, of all right, question for you. Of all the masculine, quote unquote, traits that are out there, what is your favorite?
What's my list of masculine traits? I don't know that I've actually thought
Um,
about what are masculine traits.
Fair enough. Just go with what
Peeing in the
society
woods,
says. First of all,
because
yeah,
that's convenient. I'm not
yes.
like it's not. I'm just saying that's not.
Not just
I don't
peeing in the
even.
woods, peeing damn near anywhere. To have
Ooh,
an
I don't know.
out of, all right, not a children's
Nope.
playground. Chill out.
Yeah. I'm just saying you when you said
Oh,
when you
get away
said
from
dang near
public
anywhere.
indecency laws.
I, I'm just saying like there's
I also
there's
hide
a
in the
fair
dark
bit of
better than you, so
that's not even fair. Like it's not even fair. Why would you say that? Like, come on. What am I supposed to do after that? Like, I can't agree with it and be like, oh, good point. I can't like push back against it and be like, no, what do you mean? Like, like I just gotta sit with it and be like, I know what you're doing. All right, well played. Just just can't do anything. Like, golly.
you didn't fall
Just
for the trap.
it was right there. just right
It,
there.
I mean, it was like the whole setup was it was given to me. It's like the heavens open up, said, "This is yours."
You take this right now.
Strike him down, and if he stands, know that he's strong.
Fatality.
Right? My hand broke on impact. It's like, I didn't get past this one.
Oh man. What
Oh
like
shit.
what are the other options? What are the other options though? Like because I get like
Okay,
splitting
so
wood.
I mean, there's so here's one that's taken for granted is being a good leader.
Okay.
And that's because it's coming off a misinformed basis of most men aren't good leaders for real. So sorry to break it to y'all, but y'all suck. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all really be trash for real. We need uncles and granddads and like fathers just to be stepping up for real, for real.
Yeah, that's
Quick,
true.
quick side tangent, because that's why you probably don't know the masculine shit that needs to be done. Like, because bro, they've
That's
they've
probably
they've
why.
they've bitchified us for real. Like lack thereof, or even the pacification over some time. Now, I think we needed some pacifying, as in the sense of like lessening our aggressions and whatnot. But we haven't educated ourselves along the same line,
Sure.
and that I think that's where we fail.
Yeah.
Not us, clearly not us.
Like not this isn't when we say us, it's everyone else. That's what I mean by saying
Well, I
us.
mean, you've
As a
trained, and
collective.
it's not to say that we don't have faults still, but we're more inclined to admit them and want to change them for the better.
Sure.
And many in our collective don't do that, and that's why I
Sure.
separate, because
Okay.
there
Fair
isn't
enough.
many men think that leadership is just running yourself and the world around you with no one pushing back for real. And that's not leadership. That's a tyrannical nature that you have.
Yeah.
You're not guiding anyone properly. You're causing mayhem.
Yeah.
Where true leaders should be questioned, right?
Yeah.
And when they're questioned, they should be able to take the hit on the chin,
Right.
where it's like, yo, I don't have a good answer for you, but what I can do is find the best person who can answer that. That's what,
Sure.
and start delegating based on who's actually best for the job, not just my buddy,
Right.
who's a crony or something.
Yeah.
So men, we've faltered in that, but like good leadership qualities used to be a masculine trait. I say used
Sure.
to be.
Sure.
Times are different. Um, let's see. Changing a tire or oil on a car.
What?
Essentially, it's anything manual labor for the most part.
it's just
Outside of
it's just manual labor and
giving
hard
labor,
work.
like being in labor, like it's the other manual labors.
Yep. So the question is, which one do I value the most or enjoy
Which
the
one's your
most?
favorite? Yeah.
Hmm. I hmm, I don't know if there's any one particular one. I said like peeing outside and like
Hey, that's
that
completely
legitimately is
valid.
my favorite.
I
Like
keep
that's that
telling Jill to get the little pea spout that they have. It's essentially just a funnel that ladies can put up
yeah,
to their hoo ha and then be able to do what we do. And when I brought that up, she said no. I said, so is it that you just want to continue to complain about the issue? She said yes.
oh,
She actually
okay.
admitted to just like, no,
Like
I
there's an
don't want
invention
to
for
do
this
it.
to
There's a solution. And she's like, I don't want that.
no, fair enough. But that I
It's a little
legitimately
rinse out with water. Like,
I mean, I I don't know. It seems like a legitimate solution, but splitting wood, I think I like manual labor, not because I love the manual labor, but I think it's like the feeling like you accomplish something like that afterwards, like when
Oh
you're
yeah, mine's for sure that I've like, especially if like it's like a hardwood pause, especially.
out here talking about big hands and hardwood. Okay.
Yo, chill out.
Oh, come
Chill
on.
out.
You went you went hide and go seek, and then you're telling me to check. Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
because I'm good at a game. I shouldn't. Anyway, so there's some knots in the wood. I like to
Yeah.
know that I've been able to break past those.
Yeah.
Um, which also led me to a year of not breathing right because I hit one. I was we were hanging out having a fire in my backyard, and my buddy Dallas and I were like cranking at this one stump. It just wasn't busting through. So we were like just hammering away. I'm choosing my words very specifically, so this doesn't sound graphic. I've been flagged on fucking YouTube and whatnot. It's not for kids. So he steps to the side. It's my turn again, and I wind up, and I gave 100%. And here's the thing: bad advice. I'll get to that later. Don't ever give 100%. Don't,
Just
because
don't
I
do it.
I did, and when I tell you, my sternum crackled like I've never heard before, and my body was stunned. I actually knocked the wind out of my chest from how hard I slammed this axe against the stump.
Yeah.
And then I go 6 months and I'm just like, yo, I can only really take shallow breaths. Otherwise, this hurts like a motherfucker. And I go see the doctor, and she's like, you might have costochondroitinitis, inflammation of the sternum, essentially, of cartilage in the sternum. So go see a physical therapist. He'll work on that. And, da,
Yeah.
da, da. And I'm like, it took another 4 months for me to breathe right. So almost a year of not breathing right.
Ooh. Ooh.
I was blacking out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was blacking out a lot at that time. Because it affected my pots.
Yep.
So
I'm
short
sure it
breaths,
did.
short
Yep.
breaths went to shorter breaths, which meant oxygen wasn't getting around, and I was blacking out a lot. But outside of that, I still love it, and I'm buying a new axe later this evening. It's gonna be great.
How often do you sharpen yours?
Usually after each trip,
Okay.
or if like I've done some chopping. Sometimes I just like do it mindlessly as
Yeah.
just like something to do. But I left mine in the last house, kind of like sold it to them. They had a
Sure.
separate like amount of money that they were like, anything is left in the garage, like we'll take that. So I was like, all right, good.
Deal.
And I can get a new one. So
Yeah. Fair enough.
uh,
Yeah.
this conversation's been all over the place today. I gotta be honest, I
Yeah.
didn't have much planned though. I kind of like had some stuff, but they're more in-depth, long conversations. Your face, bro. The way your face froze.
Yeah. Um, just screenshot it. Just meh.
I will. I'll make sure to have that as the banner.
That'll be no. I mean, it's ironically like I was actually splitting wood with my boys, and some other kids from like their like little Boy Scout troop, and so we were doing it for a fundraiser. I mean, it was like a
Okay.
gas log splitter.
Oh, okay. But they got
And
to
so it
like load
wasn't,
it up.
yeah,
Got you.
yeah. And they got sort of the experience of like, you need to do that to heat your home all winter long, sort of thing,
Should
and you got
have
to
made them
stack it.
grab little hatchets and start like breaking up kindling and shit.
Dude, I don't need a bunch of like 7, 8-year-old kids with hatchets.
You have to teach the youth. It's no different from like how, all right, especially in the country, fathers who have guns teach their children young how to use a gun
Yeah,
and all the safety stuff and all that. This is no different.
true.
I'm a teach a wheeled axe in class.
Okay.
And
I I mean, I'm not afraid to teach. So I'm not afraid to teach like my boys that, but having a large quantity of younger kiddos that are like, let's learn this skill. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't know if we have the great adult to kid ratio here.
okay,
And
I see.
it might also be because growing up, I had a cousin that put an axe into his shin, because he was log splitting, and if you hit the side, or if you don't really have good stance on you, and you lose, kind of bounces. So it's kind
It
of like
does. I've
not a great experience.
I've hit myself, but I haven't cut myself with an axe. Like I've like just gotten it out of the way and it glanced off my like, calf as opposed to it going in. But like I've never had that type of incident.
Yeah.
I have a
Turns out,
nervous. Go ahead.
well, no, it just turns out your body doesn't like having metal hit it that's sharp and then goes into bone. So it's just not a big fan of that. So
Oh yeah, I think we learned that back in the medieval times where they were
yeah,
chopping people's heads off and they had to go through a couple times.
I was reading an article that talked about like how drunk like the executioners were, and they like lived in their own cities because they were like, we can't survive and can't live with other
They
people
hated their
we've seen.
job,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, I read some. What was it? I was watching a 10 facts about medieval times like thing, and one of them was like number 6, executioner hated their job. And I said, what? Movies always show them as having a great ass time, but
Yeah,
if they're
like
drunk,
woo.
that makes sense.
Mhm.
But no, like depression hit them crazy. They're like, because they didn't get it in one foul swoop, so it was like
No.
he's still and I gotta go again.
Yep.
And by that point, fear's in their heart now, so they're not as strong. It's
Yep.
like,
Just die, Peter. Just die, Peter. Just go.
and then they miss completely. I'm going home. I'm going home.
I
There's a
don't love
whole breakdown.
anymore. Like, Mom.
I'm going to Grandma.
Right? Just nonsense. Oh.
Oh, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. We're talking about my body doesn't like metal in the bone. So
Oh, right before that, I had something to say. Ooh, not important anymore.
training children in axe wielding
Oh,
class.
I would teach one. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Don't worry about it, guys. We're just doing a show and technical difficulties happen at a moment's notice, and sometimes you just gotta fix it. Don't worry about it.
Just like
Maybe
just
this
in
means
real
I'll
time.
learn how to edit in a fucking technical difficulties little screenshot.
Okay. There you go. That's how you do it. Wait,
No, hold on. Oh, ooh, get in there.
what?
Hmm?
Is it just like glitching out
Hey, we in
hardcore?
there. Yeah. It was working off Wi-Fi. I've got a little router set up in my room because of the Amazon Aero devices. So I
Hmm.
plug my computer into that, and that seems to have fixed everything, which obviously makes me upset. I forgot to do
Just so
that at the beginning of the show.
you're upset. I was the one that had the frozen face, remember? Like,
You did look disgusting.
thank you.
You look like an AI picture.
Dude, those are AI pictures are a little
They're getting weird. They're
yep.
getting they're getting weird. Oh shoot, man. All right. Well, I don't really have much more. We've been all over the place this week. Like I said, I got
Go
stuff set up for another
that
time, but this is a weird week because of my weekend coming up. I ain't even have
you
fucking
don't even
email
have
and
the
all.
how old you don't have the how old were you or bad advice you want to jump into?
Oh yeah, I got bad advice. I was gonna end on the bad advice,
Ooh.
which goes back to a bit in our conversation earlier of giving 100%. And my bad advice is take your job seriously.
Your bad advice is to take your job seriously.
Yes, take your job
How is
100% seriously all the
oh
time
you're talking
at
oh you're
every
talking
given
about
moment. Every
oh you're
time,
talking about like over the top.
like your CEO wants you to. CEO, manager, supervisor, whatever you want to call them, like they want you to take your job seriously all the time. Do that.
Okay.
That should be clearly bad advice, especially in 2023. Everyone knows that jobs suck. These managers aren't shit,
all
dude. They're bad leaders.
all jobs suck.
Most of them. There's always that one person that still loves their job, and that's fantastic for them. But
Good for you.
exactly, good for you,
Yep.
because I this is still kind of a hobby, and I don't even like all parts of it. Like,
Do you ever remember like the advice where people would say like find something that you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life?
that's why we're in the bullshit we're in right now. That's exactly why we're here, because our parents taught us that we're all special and we should all do whatever the fuck we want to. Yeah, that's kind of true. Kind of.
But
But look at us now. Look at us now.
look how far we've made. Oh,
All I see is the fact that the wealthier have gotten wealthier and the poorer have gotten poorer.
yeah.
That's it. Where I'm like, yo, the good advice is don't take your job seriously all the time, because fuck them. They don't care about your life. They do not give two fucks about. I know you employ people, so this kind of goes all against you.
Well, my model of how we're doing things is I don't actually want to make any money off of people that work for me.
That's what's up.
So
That's actually
like
what's up.
like the business model is like we're making it so we break even. And if I want to make a lot of money, I have to do it for me,
Right.
not off of the work that they do.
See, you're a different type of one percenter, because that doesn't exist for all other peoples.
Well, all of the advice I've gotten from like accountants and things
Hmm.
has been like, that's a bad business model. And I
Hmm.
was like, that's because your idea of doing business and my idea of doing business are actually fundamentally different.
Yeah.
Like we're therapists. Like it's already hard enough. I don't
Hmm.
want to fleece, people that are working, either that I'm supervising or people that are working in our clinic. That's just
Stop
not
being
what we do.
amazing all the time. You get on my nerves, bro.
Um, I don't know if I'm. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
No, because
Um,
you're genuinely a good person, and I'm not gonna hear you even slander yourself in saying that. No, I'm not with that.
oh man. But what happens if I turn into the cocaine Russian or Richard Pryor? Like, yeah, then you're gonna be like,
You ain't got that in your heart. I can tell you right now.
dude, you sent me on the darkest rabbit trails this week of Richard Pryor and his cocaine use and like just like his wife,
Yeah,
like her mouth
Cambria.
going numb when they like make out.
Hmm.
Like you have to be using so much cocaine if it's in your like saliva.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a lot of
and then
cocaine.
that's a ton of cocaine.
We're gonna get
Ton of
flagged for
cocaine.
saying cocaine, so
That's true. It's just
flag them. That's fine.
yeah. And
Cocaine's a
then the
fun word.
other
I'm mad that it's so associated with something bad. Like I like the word cocaine, but I don't do it.
right. And then the other, oh, it was the Rainwalker.
Hmm.
Sort of that was a big, just so sad for that little guy. So sad. Just
That's my town has not healed from that to this day. 20 years later,
I don't know if you can.
most from what I hear, like some of the other like unsolved child stories of other small towns, most don't. Like that becomes a, a scarring moment for them.
Right. And usually until there's like resolution, like
Yeah.
so for example, like around here, there's like the Jacob Wetterling thing.
Mm.
Like you remember the Jacob Wetterling case?
I was
It was
only in Minnesota like 6 years.
so he was a kid that was like kidnapped, not kidnapped, but sort of disappeared
Hmm.
in I think it was the early 90s. But just like home, like walking around with his friends and and like it was a little unfortunate because they actually had the guy, they had him as a suspect early on, but didn't have really enough, or there was
Hmm.
some checks and balances that weren't really followed through on.
Hmm.
Um, and so it was like largely like active or an unsolved case for years until the guy got arrested for like child pornography and as
The
part of the plea
DNA
deal.
back. Oh,
Yeah,
it's part of the
well, and
plea
it's
deal.
yeah, as part of the plea deal. They were like, "We're pretty sure you did it," and as part of like the plea deal being like, "We're not going to charge you for it, but we won't charge you if you tell us the truth and
Oh,
tell us where to
for the
like where to find
confession.
him." Yeah, and
Okay.
he was like, "Yeah, it was me," and like knew where his body was, and they went and found like the
They
remains.
always fucking remember. But you guys also got the Winter Lady story, the Frozen Lady story in Minnesota, don't
What's
you? The
what's the
woman
frozen lady?
who she was walking home and and as she like walks into her front yard, she ends up collapsing because it's so cold, and someone finds her frozen, and they assume she was dead, and they bring her to the hospital, and they're like trying to thaw her, and she was still alive, like she had a faint pulse.
Oh dang!
Isn't
I
that
mean,
y'all in Minnesota?
I it sounds vaguely familiar. Like, unfortunately, I think there's actually been a couple of like near freezings, like where actually your body can handle
A
like being
significant amount.
almost right, like
Uh,
a scary amount.
other
And
reasons. You didn't never. I'm cutting this part out, man.
uh,
Fuck you.
just this is a clearly edited like
Oh,
part
no.
now.
This became like a Minnesota goodbye for real. Like,
It did.
because I was ready to log off after take your job seriously. We got like a couple stories.
That's true.
Oh man, this has been fun though. This has been good.
Yep.
This has been lighthearted. I'm digging it. I'm going into something more heavy next time. So soak it
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
y'all,
yeah, yeah.
while you can. Um,
Have some fun. It's gonna be heavy the next time.
Oh,
Just
because I'm bringing up some serious topics. Oh, do you want to know a little preview?
well, I think you gotta tease them a little bit.
All right, I can tease them. All right, pros and cons of Kevin Samuels,
Okay.
and I got some ideas,
Okay.
and some are gonna like him, and some aren't.
Okay.
Um. Oh, and then what I sent you the other day about doctors. What did I send you?
Yep. It's about bedside manner
Bedside manner.
and no one doing their job properly.
I, I made a whole dissertation style title, and you roasted our podcast with one simple sentence. Is that the tagline for us? Like, God damn it. I wish you weren't so right. Oh, the transition of doctors in their position to where bedside manner is today is essentially
Mm.
the second topic. And then something that came to me in a conversation that I was having with Jill, um, was oftentimes we talk about peaks and valleys, but we don't talk about the desert plateau.
Mm.
And the desert plateau causes mirages of progression. So I've got a whole conversation about that as well.
All
So
right.
we'll see how much I can tuck some of those into an episode. It's probably going to leach over into another one, but you know
All
what?
right.
Well, I'm not doing a poll. Ain't nobody fucking checking for us like that. So I'll have you pick one. You'll tell
All
me
right.
which one of those ideas that you want to do, and we'll go from there. All right.
All
Until
right.
next time, though. Peace and love.